Hi Scorpios, so welcome to your November 2017 readings. These are your monthlies. They're done a little bit differently. They are longer than, well, the mid-months. So I do try to keep them shorter. It never works out that way. I read energies, so it takes me a little while to pick up on them because I want to ensure, well, I got a Virgo rising. But I'm a perfectionist. I want to ensure that I'm giving out the proper messages. You'll have to excuse my hair. It's been raining outside. I just came back from walking the dog not too long ago. So for the first card we have is Temperance. I try to cover homework and relationships. I say try because I do read energy, so whatever comes through will be the message I give out. Some areas tend to come through stronger than others. Sometimes I can't pick up some things because other areas seem to be more important. What's coming through in your relationship, Scorpio, is that there has to be a sacrifice here. There has to be a balance. All right? You might not want to hear that because you are a fixed sign. And you're like, compromise? What? You got compromise here where okay, it's balance, all right? Sagittarian is a non-controllable energy. It's not an energy that tolerates, they don't tolerate much, I'll be honest with you. All right, what they tolerate is freedom and freedom of expression of the self. It's not an energy that can be forced, manipulated, or controlled at any point. You have the Chariot here. You have the Knight of Wands. And it's interesting, Sagittarius is the Knight of Wands. Okay, there's like a journey you need to go on, a movement. So this can mean job, for your job. It could mean that, okay, your company could ask you to travel. Or you could be taking a trip, perhaps, even. There is a sacrifice you're going to have to make, though. And it's a self-sacrifice, all right? I believe it's emotional here. It's talking about, all right? So it may be expressing your emotions and not holding things in. What you have at home, okay, is the Knight of Wands. And that could be, it doesn't have to be a Sag. It could be a Leo, or it could be an Aries energy. It's talking about action-oriented, though. All right? This person's got their shield up. And they may be getting you emotionally off balance somehow. Somebody's got you emotionally off balance. The next card we have is the Lovers. We have the Nine of Wands. We have the Knave of Wands. We have the King of Wands. Ooh. He does not look happy, this guy. He looks very angry. All right? You know what came into mind? Hangry. Okay, and that's I'm sorry, you guys. Okay, I was watching this video. It was hysterical. And it's talking about, okay, you guys, okay, men. I'm referring to guys as men. All right? Women suffer from PMS. Yes, men complain about that quite often, how they get all moody once a month. All right? But men suffer from a thing called hangry. And hangry is when they're hungry and they get very angry. You guys get very moody when you're hungry. Okay, so it's kind of like you suffer from PMS, but it's with being hungry. Okay, when you're hungry, you get emotionally off balance and you get a little angry. You're very men tend to be very short-tempered when they're hungry. It's kind of weird. It's like a child when they're hungry, you know, they need to eat. Like, okay, so just know, like, if you start to notice that you get, like, you flick a switch or something like that, it's because you're hungry, right? It's weird. But it may be posing, okay, maybe your spouse hasn't picked up on this, all right? And that's when the fights start, and it's because you're hungry. They haven't picked up on it. It's like you're hungry. Like you're just like, I want, like, so when you're hungry, you're impatient. I'm feeling like this, like, so just know that that's like that sometimes may set off the that may be the triggers for some of you. For others of you, I feel like you have gaslighting here. Okay, that's a difficult situation to be in. All right, if there's gaslighting, then you need to put a stop to that. I feel like some of you guys are very concerned about your child, and for some reason, your child's at a distance. I just got the words very bad. You miss your child very bad or something like that. For some of you, this is talking about there is somebody that you miss very bad. I don't know why very bad came out. We have the Eight of Swords. We have the Knave of Swords coming in at home. You have a lot of childish energy at home. All right? You're going to have to cut through this. Like, you're going to have to put your foot down and say enough is enough. You have to break some sort of pattern here. All right? There's action that you need to take, though. It's not going to happen due to anybody else. It's going to happen because you choose to make it happen. You miss somebody very bad that passed away. Okay? You have 2 children, it seems like. I'm concerned about this one. Okay, what it's saying not to do at home. Okay, you have the Hangman here. What I pulled out on the the Knave of Swords is the King of Swords, and that's interesting. Okay, so there's this father-son battle going on here. You may have a Sagittarius sun that is jealous of your air sign sun. Okay? Your air sign sun has a very special energy to them. Okay? Is going through a dark time though. I feel like there could be a battle between the father and son. The egos are clashing. I feel like, and it's odd, I feel like your air sign sun is sensitive. Very sensitive. Okay? Your air sign sun is I kind of feel like others perceive him as like maybe a little lucid or very off, but he's not off. He's like, okay, your air sign sun is a lot stronger than he appears. uh he's like the strong silent type, whereas your other sun is much. Your other sun is a little more careless. Okay, so it kind of seems like your husband may be quite hard on your on one son, and he might not be talking to you about it. Also, I feel like your air sign son has some sort of connection with you, like in a spiritual realm. He may be able to pick up on energies. Uh, your air sign son has some sort of special gift. He's gifted in some manner. He's gifted in some manner. I'm not sure what that manner is, but he's going. Your air sign son. Okay, he's going to end up down the road. If you're concerned about him, he's going to end up being royalty, which means okay, he might face a lot of battles, but he's going to get through it. And I'm not sure why I'm picking up that people perceive him as the bad one, or not the bad one, but like the one that like it's like people don't see potential or something in him. And then your other son, it's like he gets a lot of attention and things like that, and everybody pats him on the back or thinks that he's gonna. I don't know. You have one son that's very strong, silent type, and takes the back seat, and he doesn't take credit. Uh, he allows people to take credit for what he does. He's a very strong, silent type. I got this like thing in my throat where I don't know. My nose is itchy too. I feel like he has some sort of spiritual protection around him, and I do feel like okay, there's something to do with his blood. It needs okay. Perhaps if he's feeling ill or sick or something like that, get his blood tested. His blood count, something in his blood. Okay, he could have. I don't know. You might want to get that checked out. Not for everybody, but for a specific few. Okay, and then for others at home, okay, what not to do is with the hangman, it's like you can't I don't know, your son's special in some sort of way. It's weird, I can't pick up on it. He may be even a Scorpio. I don't know. It's weird. But what's happening at home, okay, is the hangman. And this is talking about what you can't do. And what it's saying that you can't do is you can no longer like you got to cut through you got to cut through what no longer serves you at home. If you're being gaslighted, then you need to put a stop to that. Okay, this is also talking about okay, well, all right, I understand. Okay, for some of you guys, it's saying that perhaps a father passed away when you were quite young, and then from that you have now developed this detached method, like you're detached uh, a bit. You grew up too fast for some of you. You grew up too fast, is what happened. Okay, one of your brothers could possibly get into trouble, and you might need to bail them out. They would be significantly younger than you, though. At work, what we have happening is okay, well, you have some childish behavior. You got a lot of child energy here. You have some childish behavior that's going on at work. Okay? Uh, it's like, it's basically what I'm seeing is like cooler gossip, cooler talk. You know how people talk all the time around the cooler? Uh, So just be aware of that and stay away from that. You have a strong Cancer energy. That could be the one starting rumors or something like that. I'm not sure. Just be aware that, okay, don't get emotionally off balance and don't get drawn into the rumors or the games. Pardon me, you guys. It's pretty late here. You want to ensure that you're getting facts and not assumptions. Okay, you can't be turning a blind eye to things. So this is like you need to match up what you hear and what you see. That's what it's saying, right? And then you need to combine the two. Okay, some people can, it's like if you're gonna talk the talk, you got to walk the walk. All right. Some people are big talk but no walk. All right. For those of you that are feeling ill, do get your blood checked, okay? There could possibly be something in there. I'm not saying it's anything major. It could just be something simple like maybe your B12 levels are low, or maybe your iron levels are low, and that needs to be recharged. I'm seeing red spots in like multiple cards here. So if one of your sons aren't feeling well or something like that, and just if you see red spots show up on the face or on the arms, okay, then there's a blood problem. You need to get blood work done, all right? Or a liver problem. I don't know why that's coming through here. What you have in relationships, so if you're drinking a lot, you want to watch that. At work, you want to stay away from gossip. You want to ensure that your emotions are balanced. You also have the opportunity to travel. Some of you guys have a lot of opportunity. But there's a lot of gossip, a lot of childish behavior. Oh my goodness, you guys. The next card we have is the Eight of Swords. Okay, and that's turning a blind eye to things. You have a Gemini energy that's going to balance things out at work, or has the potential to balance things out at work. Okay, when it comes to your relationships, you need to sacrifice here, and by sacrifice, it's like what not to do with the Hangman. It's like, okay, well, if you let everything build up all the time, and the situation is never going to get better, it's just going to get worse, right? So this is talking about actually being okay in your partnerships, discussing the matters at hand that are problems. All right, there's like a choice you have to make. All right, I feel like for some of you guys this is talking about finalizing a divorce, signing the papers. For others of you, it's like you have a decision between two lovers. So you're going to have to pick one. Some of you could be getting engaged or married even, and that's kind of cool. That's beautiful. Congratulations. Okay, and then others of you, it's like separating. All right, Scorpios, here's my concern. If you're at work and there's a person and I'm feeling like it's a fire sign, you're not. Okay, do not use any sort of manipulation or trickery against this person, because they'll cut right through it. Their sword's hot. It's red. They're willing to use it. They'll cut right through it. They will. All right? Manipulation, things like that. Okay, their sword's hot. They'll cut right through it. They can see through it. All right? They're well prepared. All right? And on top of that, it's like the Scorpio Jupiter time. So anything that's hidden will come to light. Anything that's a secret will basically be seen, and anything that's not truth will be seen. Right? You've got the Sagittarius energy here, which is truth. They're just as good as a Scorpio. That's why these two hold each side of the gate. They both know how to do the same thing, just in two different ways. All right, and these energies are very tumultuous when they get together. I have my Scorpio in Saturn, which is my lessons. If you got it bad as a Scorpio, try getting it as your Saturn. And it's not even just as your Saturn. It's like I have an Aquarius, Mars, and Venus. So that's very detached. And Scorpio is very attached. It's very feely, you know what I mean? Which is the opposite of the Aquarius, Mars, and Venus energy. So like to have those two in my chart, that's like, you know, and then I have a South Node Scorpio as well, which is the past life energy, the energy that you mastered. And apparently when you master Scorpio, there's consequences for that. You still gotta learn the still gotta learn the lessons. I mean, how does that work? Like, come on, universe. If you master something, you're supposed to be done with it. You know what I mean? Like, so just be gentle on your Scorpion vessel selves, okay? Because your next life might have to pay for that. All right. I don't know what my past self did, but I've had Saturn in my sign since Taurus. All right, Taurus since Taurus. Never had a break from it. I'm so excited when it goes into Capricorn. So excited. I have a Jupiter Capricorn. So fingers crossed. So sick of Saturn, people. I really am. It wreaked havoc on me when it was in Scorpio too, where, oh man, as long as you do things correctly, you have nothing to worry about, all right? Like, it's kind of like, okay, you have Saturn, or not Saturn, Jupiter in Scorpio, so changes are going to happen, and they're going to happen abruptly, all right? You're going to have new options and new opportunities coming at you, and you're going to have to pick one of these, okay? I feel like some of you Scorpios, okay, like you have a lot of offers. So you got a lot of options and you're so confused, you don't know what to do, you don't know what to, like, you can't make up your mind or something, or you're gonna have to make a decision, all right? And if you can't make up your mind, well then, okay, well then that you've already made up your mind. Like, okay, usually the answer is in the question, all right? So if your question is, who do I pick? Well, then your answer's already in that, nobody. Because if you really wanted one of them, then you would be directly going for them. It wouldn't be a question. You'd know. You understand what I'm saying? Like, don't go like, don't go, don't go chasing waterfalls here, people. A TLC song just came in my head. All right, like, don't. You can create problems, Scorpio. Okay, a Scorpio by all means does not want to hurt people, but like a Sag, they push themselves to the limits. All right, they get themselves into situations they shouldn't be in, and they don't realize that until after. And then after they've done that, they were like, oh, I should have thought about this for, and you know, like now I'm gonna have to like make a decision. Like now I'm gonna have to cut one of these people off, type thing. You know what I mean? Where Sag is like the opposite. Sag has Saturn in their sign. Sag, what happens with Sag is Sag gets so many options that they just don't pick one. They're like, F it. Screw this, because they're like the answers in the question, right? I can't make a mind. Screw this, and then they just go on, you know, on to the next thing. So it's like you gotta pick up that mentality here, because you're gonna get a lot coming at you guys, and it's gonna happen quick. So you're gonna have to make decisions quickly. You're gonna have to cut out what doesn't serve you. It's gonna be hard for you guys. You're gonna get emotionally off balance. You're gonna have to make a sacrifice, though. All right. I am still seeing the hangry thing. Okay, so for you women, all right, when your spouses get off balance or whatever, it's because they're hungry, all right? They suffer from something very similar to PMS, and it's called hangry. They get all moody, just like a woman does when they're hungry. They don't even realize it, okay? So when that starts to happen, don't respond back, okay? You might be, maybe that's what the gaslighting is. Maybe you're perceiving that as gaslighting, like they just want to argue with you or they just want to start things. No, they're hungry. Okay, the problem is a lot more simpler. Okay, the solution is a lot more simpler than you think. It's not as big of an issue as you actually think. They're hungry. I'm seeing some of them get like really grumpy. I really am seeing that. They're like really grumpy where they don't even know it though. It's because they're hungry. It's hilarious. Okay, so it's a simple solution. The problem isn't what you think it is. It's something very simple. Okay? Okay, if you're dissatisfied at work, then you're going to have to make that change. Okay, Jupiter is in your sign and it's going to give you nothing but options. Okay, doesn't mean all those options are going to be good because Jupiter is about experience. Okay, and Sagittarians are quite intelligent. They are thinkers like Gemini. You have Gemini here. Sagittarians don't think about problems, they think about solutions. They hate problems. Okay, this is why they hate negativity. It's because it's like somebody coming to them and all they're doing is complaining and they're giving a problem to them. And whereas okay, Sag don't, it's not that the fact that it's a problem that bothers them. What the issue is that okay, they're creating more issues instead of solutions. People start looking at the negativity and that just causes problems. Whereas Sag, what they think about is nothing but problem solving. They want solutions. That's why when people come at them, they can get very irritated by the fact that people are just constantly seeing negativity instead of positive. You know what I mean? And it's like you're going to be enlightened to that positivity. Okay, but a Sag also gains intelligence through experience because they are idiots first. I'm gonna be honest with you, man. I'm a Sag. I'm gonna tell it like it is. We are idiots at times, okay? But this is how we gain our knowledge and wisdom. This is how we succeed, all right? It's because we've done the same mistake over like 5 or 6 different times. And each time we tried a different method, all right? Where it's like, oh, don't do it that way. Shouldn't do that again. Oh, but what if because Sagittarians are very curious. And they're like, okay, what if I try this approach? They'll do it again. And they'll be like, oh, shouldn't have done that. And they'll go back in again like an idiot. And people just look at, they're basically like one of those clowns, those blow up clown dolls that you punch and it just comes whoop back up smiling at you like an idiot, right? But eventually what happens is the 6th or 7th time, okay, they've mastered it. They figured out all the errors. Okay, don't do it this way, don't do it this way, don't do it this way, don't do it this way. This is the way you do it, right? Why? Because they've been burned. You see the sword? They've been burned so many times that they end up getting it right. All right. And they don't let the fact that they failed stop them. They keep going. They get back up. They know, okay, maybe that was the wrong approach. Maybe I did something wrong. Okay, let's change this about it and let's try it again. They don't do that so much in the mind, but they do it in the mind a little bit. Okay, they gain their intelligence after they've done things. All right, not so much before they do it. It's funny because it's true. All right, depending on what else they have in their chart. Okay, if it's mainly water and fire, they're not thinking about it before they do it. All right. Thankfully, I got some air and I got Virgo, so that tames me down. Also have Taurus, right? I think about things beforehand. Virgos have backup plans for the backup plans. Okay, and Virgos, they see errors before it happens. Okay, doesn't mean that have I made mistakes and done the typical Sag thing. Absolutely, I have. I am a Sag. You can't stop that, right? Like, so if you've made mistakes, you don't need to beat yourself up about it or think that you're going to fail again. Don't be fearful. Get back up and do it again. Try a different approach. Okay, you're Scorpio. There's no such thing as a limit to you. You can push yourself surpass any limit that you think you have. All right. So if there's a fear that you have, you need to go directly towards that. Sag are idiots. They'll do this. They want to know why they're scared. All right. Like, but they'll face their fears. Okay. And they know on the other side of that fear is nothing but opportunity, because that's a barrier, and once you get past that barrier, you'll understand that, okay, it wasn't as bad as I thought. All right, even if you made a mistake, it's not as bad as you thought. You still got 2 hands, you still got 2 feet, 2 legs, 2 arms, 2 ears, 2 eyes. You can still walk, you know what I mean? You can always find another job. Like, it's not that big of a deal, you know what I mean? Life is full of nothing but opportunity. So if there's some sort of failure that you had or some sort of separation that you need to make, okay, well, don't fear it, go towards it. You know what I mean? Like, my brother's a Scorpio. And honestly, Scorpio is, because I got that strong Aquarius energy in me, Aquarius Mars, and the way they handle arguments is they're very detached. It's kind of hysterical. Because people will get really ticked off, because what happens in those scenarios is they get non-emotional. Like, they're very quiet, and they nod their head. They understand where you're coming from because they understand emotions. They can see the lower animal nature in people. They understand when an emotion gets off balance. They know what caused that. All right, so they actually will let you get it out of your system because they know it's built up in you. So and when you're yelling at them, you're just looking at them like they're like, what's wrong with you? Why aren't you getting mad? And people will try to keep pushing their button and they won't get mad because the Aquarius Mars energy understands where it's coming from. They'll even turn to you and be like, okay, do you need to get more out of your system? Are you okay? Are you done yet? This ticks people off to the T. Scorpio is the only energy that can get me ticked off. Okay. That might be because my lessons are in Scorpio. For me, my brother was always the only one who could get me emotionally off balance. Right? There's never any hard feelings, though. You know what I mean? So whatever it is, don't fear anything. Okay? If you've had a failed attempt at something, try it again. You'll succeed. This is your time. Whatever you want to start, now's the time. All right? You got to take action, and you got to cut through the nonsense, though. All right? All right, guys. Hopefully this helped you out, and I will talk to you in the... you're going to get gifts, you guys. I just pulled an extra card. All right? There's gifts coming towards you. Okay, and I don't mean like gifts like, you got this feeling of nostalgia, first of all, but it's like small gifts. So this could be like, a parent or a sibling making you, okay, they're not big gifts. It's like somebody could give you support, all right? Say something good about you. It could be like one of your family members or your parent that you haven't seen in a while. They make you your favorite meal. You know what I mean? Something small like that. Or, somebody goes to the dollar store and sees something that reminds them of you and they bring it, like a little keychain. Small little gestures like that, okay? Out of the blue, all right? Yeah, okay, Scorpios. I'm going to say namaste, and I will talk to you in the mid-months. Ciao for now.